All right. Let's come back together. Thanks for picking up the notes that you guys missed yesterday. Put those notes away in what?
My social.
In your no.
Yeah.
No. Put them in your classwork. Okay. So let's talk about today. This asks to solve the expression, then write an equivalent number sentence for each number sentence below. So here are the expressions, or number sentences. Your job was to write an equivalent one and solve it. Talk to the person at your table. Go.
All right. Okay. So I did this totally.
I did -8 plus -2 equals -10. And
But what's the equivalent number sentence?
Oh, it's +8 minus +2. -8 minus +2.
There we go. Nice, Eddie. Because adding a negative is like, you got it.
I did 8 minus 3 equals 4. +6, -6, 3.
Okay, hold on. All right, let's look at this. So, an equivalent number sentence, Ryan. Eddie's already said adding a negative is like,
Subtracting +2.
so what's the equivalent number sentence? And then ask her a question. Go for it, Ryan. What is it?
The first one.
Oh, it's not plugged in. Yeah, the first one.
-10.
No, not the answer. What's the equivalent number sentence?
-8 minus 2.
Okay, so Ryan said it is -8 minus 2 because adding a negative is like subtracting a positive. And what does that equal? -10. What's your question, Ryan?
So on the second one, it's adding, right? Like yesterday?
So this one, Ryan's already thinking, this is subtracting a negative.
Yeah.
Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. So my equivalent number sentence, which is really hard math, Stephen, can you answer it? Super tough. 3 plus 8.
6. No, it's 11. What? Oh, me too. Yes, I got it.
So Stephen, I'll go back and I'll check your first one because when I subtract the 2 on the number line, Stephen, when I subtract, I move left. So if I'm already at -8, I move further left and I end at -10.
I know. So we're just doing -11.
This one is just +3 plus +8 because subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. This equals 11. That equals 11. They're equivalent. They're the same. Okay, last one. -20 minus 13. If I subtract 13, that's subtracting a positive, Kason. What is the equivalent? Subtracting a positive is like what?
Adding
Adding a negative. They are equivalent. They're the same thing. So if I go -20 here, I'm going to go plus -13. So this equals -33. So take a guess what that equals. -33. I start at 20 on the number line. I know I'm going to add a negative, so I go left 13 places. That gives me -33. These are equivalent. That means this is -10, so is that. That's -10. So today, we're actually taking a different path today. We are looking at fact families. Talk to your tables. Do you remember what a fact family is? And if you do, can you give me one? Go.
rainbow thingy where the fact number, the biggest fact number is there, and then you go.
No, those are factors. That's really smart, man. That is really smart. You're pulling out some good mathematical thinking or vocab. So think about Maybe you remember what a fact family is. Okay, does anyone want to try? Stephen, feet down. Does anyone want to try? What's a fact family? Eddie, feet down, please.
Me confusions.
Yes. Shh.
But I remember, like, in kindergarten doing, like, a triangle.
Yes! And we're going to do those today. Oh my gosh. So, a fact family is represented oftentimes by a triangle. So if I have one in this corner, and I have 2 in that corner, what's the number up top? 3.
You gotta be.
So look.
All I remember is me pronouncing a letter wrong in kindergarten.
So look, Tia, how did I get this number at the top of the? How did I get it?
1 + 2 = 3.
I added the 2 add-ins. This is an add-in, Zeke. That's an add-in. I add them together, I get the sum. This is the sum of the 2 bottom numbers. So the way it works is it's 1 + 2 = 3. And then the commutative property says if 1 + 2 is 3, 2 + 1 is 3. Now I do the subtraction number sentences, which is I take the sum and I subtract the add-ins. So it's 3, which is my sum, minus 1 = 2. And 3 minus 2 = 1. Now, we're doing it today, but we're using positive and negative numbers. Moving a little bit past the first grade fact triangles. Next. I just did. So, yeah, no. So, remember Friday school this week, guys?
Are you going to be there this time?
No.
We were waiting for our test scores.
I got him in, but I didn't get him in until like 1 o'clock. Test on Monday. So, how do you prepare, Stephen? What's the best way to prepare for a test in my room?
Study.
What? Okay, when do you practice?
Oh my gosh. Weekend. Before the test.
During class. You guys, the best way to study is when we get to the engagement piece, you get engaged and you practice the mathematical mindsets. Those will make you successful for the test on Monday. And the homework can help you, right? Because that allows you to practice on your own. That's why I asked that question, like, wow, did you do that all by yourself? Because if you did do all that by yourself and you got them all right, you are going to do just fine on a number of the questions. If you didn't, then you need to practice. Those are a little bit harder than what I have. Assignments. So we got some assignments coming up. 2 big ones. This one is your math review for your second test. So Bryce, do you think you should do this?
Yeah.
Where do you find the answers to this?
Google Classroom. Check my answers.
In Google Classroom. No. These are only on Google Classroom. So you can go on there. You'll see the PDF. Click on it. The first 2 pages are the test. The next 2 pages, and when you scroll down, are the answers. So you can do the test and you can check your answers. Because we will not review this before the test. Please put this in your homework. This goes in your homework.
So we're doing this for homework.
This is due by Monday. Monday is your test. You want to have this done by Monday. Yep. The next one is the mathematical reflection. It's this paper.
Great.
This is due on Tuesday. Tuesday. Put that in your homework. So guys, so Vinny, my suggestion, and you don't have to take my suggestion, just a suggestion, Wyatt. Don't wait to just finish those the day before. Because here's the deal, Tia. If I do the review tonight and I have questions, I can come in tomorrow morning. I can come in at lunch. Okay? I could come in Monday morning and ask questions about the test before you take it. Because as you're finding out, some of us in here, if you don't do well in the test, it takes a lot of your time. Because I need you to learn the material. It's not okay if you just do the test and not do well. I need you to learn it. I want you to learn it. So I'll provide you the scaffolding where you can come in during your time so we can practice learning that material. And you know that's like 2 days, 2 lunch and recesses. That's a lot of time. So that's why you spend so much time using the time that's given to do it right, because then you don't have to do that time. All right, we're looking at fact families, so we're going to get right into it today. Homework was good. You guys did a great job on that. So, fact families. 2.4, put that in front of you. So Tia, on the triangle, what number goes up at the top?
8.
Nope.
Wait,
Well, hold on. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about in general. What number goes at the top of the triangle? Yeah. The sum. Please write sum on the top of yours. The sum goes up top. The sum is the answer to a addition. So I've kind of changed how I teach this a little bit. That's the sum. These are my add-ins. And that's A, D, D, E, and D. That's an add-in. And that's an add-in. The 2 add-ins make the sum. That's how I like to describe how a fact triangle works. Because once I know those 3, this gets really easy. From every fact triangle, Stephen, and again, take the notes, I have 2 addition, number sentences, and I have 2 subtraction. So I can write 4 number sentences. So, let's practice. Yep, sum, add, and add-in. We have 2 addition number sentences, 2 subtraction. So go ahead below that one, make another fact triangle. You can put a plus at the bottom. That reminds you that you add the ones in the corner, and you could put subtractions on the side because we subtract the sum from an add-in and a sum from an add-in. So if I gave you these numbers, talk to your table. Which one of those numbers is the sum? Go.
Definitely.
They still
No. It's 7. No, it's 7. Wait. Oh, no.
So how do you find the sum, Bryce? Bryce, how do you find the sum? Shh. How do you find the sum?
You add 2 numbers together.
All right. What is negative 7 plus negative 2? Negative 9. So, that's definitely not the sum. Negative 7 plus negative 2. Because I start at 7, adding a negative, I go left, I go 2 more spaces. That's negative 9. That's not even on here. So it can't be that. What would be another try? Ryan.
5 and then negative 7.
5 plus negative 7. I start at 5. Right? Here's 5. I go 7 spaces this way because it's adding a negative 7. How far is it from 0 to 5? 5. 2 more?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So what's the sum? Negative 2. So let's go put negative 2 at the top. Negative 2, 5, negative 7.
Wow, sisters.
So here I have negative 2, 5, and 7. This is where I can write my 2 addition number sentences. Easy. 5 plus negative 7 equals negative 2. There's 1. Commutative property says, hey, switch those, you get the same answer. I can add in any order I want, and I always get the same answer. That's the commutative property. So I switch it. Negative 7 plus 5 equals negative 2. Okay. Subtraction. Subtraction says, take the sum, subtract and add in. So, look what I'm going to do, Tia. I'm going to take the sum, negative 2, minus 5. That's going to give me this number here, negative 7. Then I go negative 2 minus negative 7, and that's going to equal a positive 5 because subtracting a negative,
Like adding a positive.
like adding positive. Basically, it's negative 2 plus 7. That would bring me over the positive side and give me 5. Today, for your engagement, you are going to have to use, on every problem, a fact triangle. Because what I'm noticing is it's different. I am not switching signs. Whatever numbers I get, I have to use these numbers. So Dylan, I can't change 5 to negative 5. I can't change 2 to positive 2. And I can't change 7 to positive 7. They have to stay those integers. You can't change those integers. You can't turn them into the opposites. You have to use them as they are. So I'm going to give you one more. Make one more fact triangle. I want you guys to write the 4 number sentences on your own, this time with your partner. Here they are. It will be negative 3, negative 8, and 5. Okay. Find out which one is the sum. Fill in your fact triangle, and then make your 4 number sentences.
Because 5 plus negative 8 equals.
Remember, if I'm at negative 8, and I subtract 5, I go more negative. Come on. I go more negative. And that a sum is adding, not subtracting.
So 5 minus negative 3 equals.
Yeah, dude. Nice work. Nice. Nice. Did you guys get it? Yeah. Did you guys find the sum yet?
8 still, it's 5, right?
Hold on. So if you say negative 8's the sum, if I take 5 and add negative 3, I'm at positive 5.
No, then we get positive 8.
Okay. You don't even get positive 8 because you're adding a negative 3. You're going this way. You get a positive 2. That's not it either. That's not the sum.
Sum is 8. Negative 8 minus negative 3.
The sum is adding, not subtracting.
Negative 8, right? Because 5 plus negative 3.
Hold on. 5 plus negative 3. I start at 5. I go this way on the number line because that's adding negative. That's going the wrong way. That's not going to bring me to 8. Okay, what's the sum? What is it? Negative 3. How'd you get it?
Well, I just I did the equation between -8 and -5.
It's not -5.
Sorry. I did that equation and it equaled
-8 plus 5 gives me -3. So -3 is the sum. So I can write those two number sentences. And then commutative properties, switch those around. And then subtraction, Stephen. When I write my 2 subtraction, I go back to my fact triangle. And I go sum minus add in. Sum is 3 minus -8. That will give me that, +5. And then I go sum -3 minus 5. That will give me -8.
We said that the first time. We said that was wrong.
I didn't say it was wrong. You guys were subtracting.
I had the plus signs though.
Oh, well, he said subtraction. All right. So, today, moving ahead. All right, guys. This is important. Hey. Thank you. Thank you, Eddie. This is important. Some of you did these yesterday, but today you're doing them differently. You have to use today you're looking at these questions and they are all about fact families, not equivalent equations or equivalent expressions. So, on all of these you have to make the fact family, and when it asks you to write a subtraction number sentence, you're not doing this. You're not going, oh shoot. You're not going to take an example that's like this, -3 plus 5, and you're going to go, well, subtraction, I'm going to go -3 minus 5. No. Because look, now, plus 5 would be minus -5, because adding a 5 is like subtracting a
Negative.
I'm going to wait. I know. Okay. You are not doing this, because this -5 is not, it's not that, and it's not that. You just created a integer that you can't use. So if I go -3 plus 5, I get an answer of +2. That means my subtraction number sentence can only use a -3, a 5, or a 2. And where's the sum in this number sentence? What number is it? 2. So in subtraction, the sum would go first. So it'd be 2 minus -3 equals 5, and 2 minus 5 equals -3. This is what you're doing today. You're not doing that. It's very different. All right. Get going. Oh, wait, one last thing. Sorry. One last thing. 10 seconds. Kason, Dylan, this is what matters. Check your work. This will get you ready for the test. Think about what you know before you just go and ask a question. Because on the test, you can't ask somebody a question. So think about what you know. And then lastly, if you don't know how to do it after you think about what you know, then ask. So then you do well on the test. Okay? All right, now go. On A? So look, make a fat triangle.
Three is rational, right?
Okay. The question is, have A plus B equals C, right?
Yeah.
What's C?
And then watch this one.
I don't know.
What is it? Sum. A isn't added, B isn't added. Now, if you go to A1, it says A and B have to be positive rational numbers. So I make another one. Give me a positive rational number.
That's
6.1. Because 6 is an integer. Okay? Give me another positive rational number. 4.2. Corey. Steven. So now, what's C? 10.3. And now can I answer this question? A equals C minus B. Can I answer that? Yeah. There's A. 6.1 equals 10.3 minus 4.2.
So we just do that for every problem.
No, you do this for A, but yes, you do a back triangle for every problem.
Do this.
You haven't started. No. One of you move.
I don't
Ryan, go back there. You're talking too much. Come on. I've been over there. They've already started. They're on number 2. You guys haven't started yet.
I can't do it. I don't understand.
Okay, so let's look at a back triangle because that's what we're doing today. Back families. So Wyatt's got his. Here's my back triangle. Right? So I got this back triangle. And then it's asking me to answer this. What's C?
The sum.
The sum. Perfect.
That's it?
No, hold on. Does that make sense though? Yeah. Okay, now ready? Now you go to A1 and it says A and B have to be positive rational numbers. Give me a positive rational number. It can be simple. 2.5. Give me another positive rational number. That's A now.
8.5. Makes it easy.
Okay. 2.5 plus 8.5 is what? 11. So now do I know what C is?
11.
So 2.5 plus 8.5 equals 11.
Yeah.
Okay? So now can I answer this question? A equals C minus B. Can I answer that? Yeah, because A is 2.5, C is 11, and B is 8.5. See what they did? The sum minus one of the addends equals the other addend. So that's what you guys are doing. And then the last question is, what does B equal? Well, B is 8.5. What's C?
C is 2.5. No, 11.
And A is minus 2.5.
Oh.
Done. So all I did is I took this and I made a subtraction number sentence, a subtraction number sentence, and an addition number sentence.
Okay.
So you got to do that for A2, A3, and A4. But your values are going to change because it's going to tell you. Next question is A and B are negative numbers. Not positive rational numbers, but negative rational numbers.
Wait, I'm not getting this straight.
What?
My brain is thinking this. I don't understand.
What? Okay, so what do you know?
Maybe A1 would be. What I know?
Yeah, what do you know?
I
What?
have to find the value of C.
I have to find the value of C.
Oh,
Okay, so let's look at C. C is A plus B equals C. What do we know about C? What position is that? What do we call that?
We call that the sum.
We call it the sum. So in our fact triangle, which I told you you're going to have to make every time, where does the sum go?
Up top.
Okay, so that's C, that's A, that's B. What else do we know?
That.
A and B, positive rational numbers. So I'm going to make another fact triangle. Give me a positive rational number.
21.
Oh, going hard. Oh, 21.1.
A positive?
Yeah, because rational number has to be a decimal or fraction form. Okay, it can be shown as a fraction. Not right now, Eddie. Sorry. I'll be around in a second. 21. So what's another positive rational number? Do one a little bit easier.
3.
3 is an integer.
3.2.
3.2. So now that you know this, 21.1 is A, 3.2 is B.
Yeah.
Can you find the sum? By adding them. So what do you get?
I
You
get
get hey, it's my turn.
24.
It's 24.0.
Okay. So now, can I write this number sentence? A plus B equals C. So tell me, what's the number sentence using these numbers?
21.1
plus
3.2 equals 24.3.
Can I write this one? What's A?
A is
21.1
and C is 24.3
minus
minus
3.2.
So basically,
See?
you just did it for me.
Well, no. You have 3 more questions to do.
Well, you just did this one.
Because look, you got to write this one, and then you got to go do A2, A3, and A4. And A and B change in those. So read them. Do you understand how to do it now? The idea is this, Corbin. The idea is this. That you understand a couple things. When I write a subtraction number sentence, Eddie, that's why you're probably not going to use the bathroom right off. No, it's math class, so when you're up messing around, you're wasting math class. Okay? Come on, Eddie. So here's what you need to know. Move. No, you guys are talking. I'm listening to you.
I asked him if you have to do the triangle for the letters because you did that on the
Yes, you do.
That's all I
Okay, focus. So listen. The idea is this, that if I have a sum, where does the sum show up in a addition number sentence?
where does it show up?
Yep,
After
at the end, right, from adding the 2. In a subtraction number sentence, the sum gets subtracted by an add-in, and then it equals the other add-in. That's what you need to understand, is that how can I create a subtraction number sentence from a fact family, and how can I create an addition number sentence? Okay, get going. Yes. Make a fact triangle. Make a fact triangle.
B stands for beat.
Can't be correct because 0. No, that's right. Yeah. So make a fact triangle.
Can't give me crap now. I'm so smart.
So, what's the sum? Put it in. And then what's the add-in? And boom. Okay, now all you have to do is this. Write a subtraction sentence for it. That's it. So now turn this into subtraction. But use this. When I subtract, I take the sum and I subtract a add-in. And that gives me the other add-ins. Does that make sense?
Okay.
A is 2.5.
Next step.
Negative 2.5. Yeah.
Negative 11. And then negative 8.
Yeah, because a negative plus a negative is going to make an even greater negative further than
Hey,
0.
sisters.
Questions? Okay. I like the fact family. Fact families make it easy. Yep. Because they're super fast. You don't have to write them all. On B, all you have to do is write one. I know they do take more space. But they make you understand why does the sum go to the beginning with subtraction number sets, right? Yeah, help. Need help? You guys want B? Wait, pause it. What does that equal? Okay. Okay. You got B down. Good. That's the sum. Now you need to write a subtraction number sentence using it.
No,
That's negative 5. No. That is the sum. Because look, it's adding. Right. So now you're going to use this to write a subtraction sentence. No. No.
Rational numbers.
Because look.
Oh,
Where'd you get 3 from?
Right.
Negative 2. Okay, so I can't go negative 3 minus negative 2. That's not even negative.
And you just add a positive 3.
You can't do that. You have to use these numbers. You can't create, that's what I'm saying. You can't change the signs right. You have to keep the same numbers.
You would if
When I subtract, I subtract my sum, I take my sum and I subtract the adjunct. So it's negative 5 minus negative 3. And what does that equal? Negative 2. That's, when I do subtraction, it's the sum minus an addend. The sum minus an addend. That's how subtraction works. That family works.
So if subtraction, if you have negative 3,
So we have one positive and one negative.
Yeah.
So if we had positive 2.5 and negative 1.6. But I'm bad at math.
Not really.
Yeah, you start with 0.
You're definitely not.
negative 3, but you start off with 2.
Start with 0.
why are your noses bleeding?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
One that
Do this.
it goes back to 0. I like, what is it?
Oh no, it's this.
2.
Just right. Yeah, you're right on.
Negative 1.
Wait, can I?
Which is 1. You don't have it.
I appreciate you working on it. Thank you.
This kind of stuff can be on the test. Probably. Are you already done with me?
Wait, so wait a minute. Okay. How come you have an exit thing in your room? It's because of some exit. It's a door entering and out.
Corbin, that's going to be time. That's not a productive comment during math class. That's unproductive.
What's the question?
Nope, it's not a productive math question. Sorry.
I'm mildly confused.
You just wait. We have no time. We got like 5 minutes. Just wait. I gotta wait too, so. I like what Zeke's doing. He's checking his work, checking his answers.
Ow!
Super important, guys. You guys remember, check your answers. This is huge because that way you know you're doing the math right. I'm going around and helping. You guys check. Bye-bye.
Go with this.
Hold on a minute. You got a problem with this one. You changed that. It was -2, you changed it to +2. You can't do that. Yeah, you gotta understand. Yeah, you have to understand how to
I
make.
can't switch the same.
No, you can't switch any sign. You must use the same sign. That doesn't work. You already tried it. You can change. You can put it in whatever order you want, but they must be the same numbers.
So it can be -2.
It could. Does that work? Try it. Don't worry about that. Worry about this. You did the same thing. Yeah. You went from -2 to +2. You can't do that. You must use -2 the entire time. Right. Hey. So. All right. Hey guys. I'm gonna just tell you one thing before you go. Tia. The mouth, please. Okay. If on fact triangles, if you're changing the sign, you are not going to get that question right. And there's 2 of them. You need to figure out how to do that. I showed you how to do it. Whether or not you remembered or listened or practiced, that's okay. We have another day to practice those. All right. Put your chairs in. Homework, it's all on the slides. Oh, no, we do, but we ran out of time. Yeah, I would do it at home. Yeah, there's homework. I'm pulling it up right now.
It's on.
Oh, that's why. There you go. Yeah, we ran out of time.